You know, a lot of times when you backed into a corner, you backed into a wall, you come out, naturally you're gonna come out fighting. You know, you're either gonna fall and die or you're gonna come out fighting. You know, I'm just sending out these letters to anyone that would have a listening ear, and to anyone that I thought that would, might help the situation. That's how I fight back, by putting the pen to the paper. They want to take these kids, my son, as well as all these other children, lock them up, throw away the key. That's a tradition for black males. So they want to keep that tradition going because they want to keep institutionalized slavery alive and well. So what I have to lose? I don't have nothing. I'm below the poverty level. So what do I have to lose? Okay, next on the agenda is Mr. Downey.
Well, this problem is going on everywhere. You all are now connected into the world. So there's two parts that come with that. One is
what all the parents is doing for our kids never been done in Jena. No black person in his wildest dreams would never dream of doing anything like what we doing here in Jena.
You can't let it slip up now.
Either somebody take a stand now, if not, the DA is going to continue to fill the prisons up with black people more and more. I know I'm right for standing up for my son. I'm going to stand on right until my son hit the ground. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand up for what's right.
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
We're back with a story tonight about a tiny town being split along painful lines. This is playing out in Jena, Louisiana.
Now the top story tonight, another race controversy, this one in Jena, Louisiana.
Since the arrests last December, Jena has seen protests.
A generation ago, they say it's to fight for racial equality. Their destination, Jena, Louisiana.
A major rally is expected in Jena on September 20th when Bell is sentenced.
They're staging here. They're staging at their staging areas at 7 a.m. So they're going to need to be here. And I'm going to do that.
First, I'd like for you to remove this because I need it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First, I'd like to begin by introducing Justin Barker. Justin is the young man who is the victim in this case. This case is not and never has been about race. It is about finding justice for an innocent victim and holding people accountable for their actions. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, I will try to answer some of your questions.
District Attorney, you have less than 13 days. As you stand here today and you look back on this, what would you have done different now that you have a little time to reflect back on some of the missteps or, let's say, questionable steps that were taken?
First, I disagree that there were any missteps. Perhaps better public relations.
Do you believe that you can take away someone's life with the stroke of a pen?
It looks as if we're getting out of control. So,
can we talk to Justin Barker? Justin Barker can
thank you for your time, your courtesies.
Mr. Barker, do you guys have any comments?
Boys, and I don't want them to have to go through this, so that's why I'm here, because I would do anything for them, so that's why I'm here for these 6 boys, so I feel that they're my boys.
Okay, if it's happened to these 6 kids, then who's not to say it's not going to happen to another 6 kids or another 6 kids, and not just in this town, but anywhere. It's not right. We're bringing our kids. We're going to walk the 3 miles.
It's going to be.
We're coming back here afterwards. We're going to enjoy the music and company of everybody.
It was a big concern for me because I'm raising a man. My son is 9 years old, and if this can happen to somebody and they're only 16 years old, I'm only 7 years away. So yeah, it affected me. It struck me really hard.
We got 6 young African American students who are going to end up statistics. We want to definitely show support and show that educated young men and women will stand for social injustice in this era. The civil rights era is not dead. It's just a whole nother movement that's about to happen.
So we're here to support our Jena 6. And those are kids, those are not adults. And I thank God for y'all. And y'all come back whenever y'all want to.
Justice! Now! Justice! Now!
This is a beautiful sight to see here today. I want to bring up Michael's mother, Melissa Bell. The only thing that would make this better if my son wasn't in there.
Free Michael Bell! 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 Free Michael Bell!
Martin Luther King Jr. and others face Jim Crow. We come to Jena to face James Crow Jr. Esquire. He's a little more educated, a little more polished, but it's the same courthouse steps used to beat down our people. And just like our daddies beat Jim Crow, we will win the victory over James Crow Jr. When we had our first demonstration, we had about 40 people. If somebody told me then that the whole world would be watching, you would have had to tell me I was crazy. But the families believed it. The families stuck together. They formed their own organization. They made their own decisions. And all of this is representative of them as a whole. And we're going to support all the families now. Big up all the families right now. Every one of them, all 6 of them. They all in the same boat, and so are we.
Thousands of people marched in Jena. The appeals court threw out Michael Bell's conviction. But the justice system in Jena is pushing ahead with its case in defiance of national opposition and political pressure. DA Reed Walters decided to retry Michael Bell as a juvenile, and he remains in jail to this day.
The case against Michael Bell will now go forward in juvenile court. I firmly believe and am confident of the fact that had it not been for the direct intervention of the Lord Jesus Christ last Thursday, a disaster would have happened. You can quote me on that.
It would be easy enough to remind ourselves that Jena is in the Deep South, and to pretend that stories like this only occur in sleepy small towns. But Jena is not a far-off place with a cruel kind of racism that has died in the rest of the nation. This is not the past, it's the present. And in the end, this is not the story of the lynching noose so much as it is the story of the DA's pen. North and South, we live in a country with more than 2 million prisoners, where young black men are 7 times more likely than whites to be incarcerated. North and South, we all live in Jena. And despite our denials, some of Jena lives in us. From death row, this is Mumia Abu Jamal.
One of the best lessons that my son could learn, to know what it is to be black now. The day he set foot out of jail, I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him again. You know what it is to be black now. Here it is.